Who hasn't thought about pulling off a heist? VR gaming has come a long way since the start in 2016, same year as Fast Travel Games was founded. And since then we've been quite ambitious as a studio. We have 20 games on the market in these last 10 years, and now we are making Payday Aces High. Aces High, of course, is for up to 4 players. To pull off the heists together, to plan them, to execute them. If things go wrong, which they usually do, you blast your way out and hope to get away with the loot.
It is a game in VR, so it actually plays quite differently. The fantasy is the same, the heisting, the plans is the same. We've created a new set of heisters, of 4 original heisters, the Aces.
We have the leader of the group, the Ace of Hearts. He does the planning.
The mastermind.
The mastermind, yeah, of course. Then we have the Ace of Spades. I guess you could say she has a bit of an anger problem. Then we have the Ace of Diamonds. Some people would call him a gentleman. Other people might describe him as a bit of a posh bastard. And then lastly, we have Ace of Clubs, the kind of smart hacker in the bunch. The masks really clearly communicate what type of character is hiding behind the mask.
You will recognize the different type of characters from earlier version of Payday. The first responders, they are lighter. And then we got like tactical assaults, which are heavy on gear. And then of course we got the bulldozer, which is the beefy guy. And we work a lot with colors, so it's easily recognizable. Many years ago, I always thought that stylization, it suits a Payday game. I know that it's become more and more realistic with Payday 3, for example. But we're going back to the basics.
The Payday audience will recognize themselves in the types of environments we have chosen for this game. A lot of the inspirations for the levels has come from this sort of upscale environments. For example, Sarah, you've been working on one of the museum heists, right?
Doing the research to figure out like where would you sneak in, where would be the exits. I think going to real world location and asking a tour guide like how would you break into these museums? Where would the blind spots be from the cameras? You can make a lot of people sweat with questions like that.
So I'm a big fan of 90s and early 2000s action movies. So I think I've let that seep in as inspiration for this game, apart from the Payday games themselves, of course. Payday has been around for a long time, and there is the heisting fantasy is great, where you meet up with people just online or your friends, and you meet around the planning table. You can look at a map of a heist, and you can make plans together. I think that's one of the coolest things with Payday is how the game is actually built to plan and talk about what to do.
Yeah, and it's all kind of amplified by VR. You know, you have to really put the ammo into the gun and aim and shoot.
Or you throw your grenade, or an enemy throws a grenade at you and you pick it up and you throw it back. So the reactive nature of the game just comes to life in VR in a very different way.
It really amplifies what it means to play a Payday game.
Stealthing in VR is one of my favorite things. We've built several stealth games earlier, and it's such a great experience to sneak around and be there and not be seen.
In addition, there will also be community-specific events for players to undertake, missions, challenges that they can accomplish together as a community. We're bringing the game to the MetaQuest platform, but also to Steam VR, of course including the new Steam Frame headset that is launching this year. So if you want to know more about Payday Aces High, visit paydayaceshigh.com and make sure to follow the official Discord, which is part of the Payday Discord channel.